What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today, Best Actress. I've done past 2 weeks. Last week I did Best Director. Week before that I did my update on my Best Picture predictions. These are my updates for Best Actress. So it's not gonna be that long of a video. I looked at the contenders and I was like, even most of these people need their films to be seen in order for them to be projected, or we need like a crystal ball. Or we need, there's some stuff, there's some stuff that's being thrown out there, like the rumor that Jennifer Lopez is going to run lead for Kiss of the Spider Woman, which I don't think is, looking at this field, I'm just like, I think that would instantly put her in the top 10. Like, there's a whole bunch of people in films that I just don't think are getting any traction. So I don't know where these races are going to come from, or these performances or anything. It's like the whole first half of the year has been essentially void of that. Haley Steinfeld shouldn't run in lead. That's a supporting performance. So, and that Sinners is the most critically acclaimed film so far. So it's like wide open at this point. Meaning, what do we have? Well, my first choice is obviously Renata Reese for Race. I will eventually have her name pronounced perfectly by the time she wins her Oscar for sentimental value. Which, yeah, I think she's the front runner right now. It would be her first nomination. She would have the international support. She's in apparently a good movie. She does a great job in it, and she has been in several other films where she's had great roles before. So it's not like she's not an ingenue like Mikey Madison. And I just think, yeah, it could be her time to sort of translate into into a win. But who else is going to come along with her? That's being released by Neon later this year. It was the runner-up at Cannes to the Palme d'Or. It was a Grand Prix winner? Isn't that what it's called? I think that's right. Oh God, this is where it gets. Now I have to pick everybody else. So it's a cluster after this. I'm leaning on Julia Roberts. But Daniel Craig made a lot of sense for Queer, and that didn't happen for him. He had never been nominated. He was leading that film. He got really close to the nomination. They have been ignoring Luca Guadagnino's movies, even when they pick up SAG nominations, even when they pick up BAFTA nominations. The Oscars have ignored the past couple Luca Guadagnino movies. So there's no reason to believe that even with Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, and Ayo Edebiri, that suddenly After the Hunt is going to make a huge impact in the race. Maybe they just don't like Luca Guadagnino, I don't know. But I think we're all going to perpetually hope that the curse is broken, because it's not like his films are poorly reviewed. His films were all well received. They just didn't gain nominations. I know a lot of people were upset that Challengers got no nominations last year. So the fact is, his last three movies have gotten no nominations: Queer, Challengers, and Bones and All. So will After the Hunt go, O for O, whatever? Is it going to match that? Hopefully not, because I've got Julia Roberts in at number 2. It's been a minute since she's been nominated. She's a previous winner for Erin Brockovich. This would be, if she were to win, it would be, Erin Brockovich came out in 2000, so this would be like 25 years after her first win, which feels like I could see that. I can see that sort of like happening, like that sort of narrative for her. And she's big enough where giving her a second Oscar doesn't feel like it's an insurmountable effort in this race. So if she's really good After the Hunt, she could be in play to win. Where else do I go after here? So I'm gonna go with. We're gonna go a little bit of different route here. I really like. I really like Amanda Seyfried for Anne Lee. It's a musical. She has sung before, and after seeing her in her Peacock Limited, which she didn't get a nomination for, which Long Bright River, was simply honestly just because there are not enough nominees in that category. And if you're going to start including movies, I don't know how we don't have enough people to have 6 nominees in that category. But I just think like it's sad that her work over like a course of a season lost to Rashida Jones for one episode of Black Mirror. As good as you are in like one episode, it's not even a full movie. It's not like she lost to Renee Zellweger for Bridget Jones. She missed out on a spot while somebody's there for one episode of Black Mirror. Anyway, yeah, Amanda Seyfried is terrific in Long Bright River, and she's finally starting to find her stride. She is actually a previous nominee for Mank, so this would be her second nomination, and it's a historical biopic. And I think if it's good, she can get in. We'll see what happens. I think that's going to be like one of the fall festival debuts. So I'm sticking my neck out for her on this. I'm also going to go with Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love. Her performance was really well reviewed at Cannes. It wasn't like super well reviewed, but she's also Jennifer Lawrence. So I kind of wonder if she can withstand the competition. Lynn Ramsey's films, they're critically well received. Die My Love is critically well received. It's not necessarily like 100% or anything, but Jennifer Lawrence has multiple nominations. She's a little bit of a darling in this category. She hasn't been here in a hot minute, and if I have to choose between nominating Jennifer Lawrence, who hasn't been nominated in a hot second, or Emma Stone for Begonia, who just won like 2 years ago for Poor Things, I'm going to say Jennifer Lawrence takes the spot. And then for the fifth spot, I'm going to give it to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet right now. That would be her second nomination. She's a previous nominee as well. And I think Hamnet is going to come close. I don't know if it's going to be Best Picture or not. It might. So it seems like Jessie Buckley feels like a lock. So the people floating right outside my top 5 that could shake that up, obviously I mentioned Emma Stone for Begonia. The problem with Emma Stone is she already has a handful of nominations to her name. And she has 2 Oscars. And she's young. She's really young. So Emma Stone is one of those people who, even if she's good, at this point, I can't see her being a frontrunner ever for anything. At this point, like it doesn't matter how good she is. This could be like The Revenant for her, where she's like bleeding on camera, like actual real blood. And they're like, "Oh, did you hear? That was the scene where Emma Stone lost her arm. We should give her an award." Like I just don't think she's going to win 3 Oscars this soon. It's just not happening. So it makes it a little bit harder for her to get a nomination out of Begonia. Even if she's good, even if she's great. I just think unless there just aren't 5 girls that are good, in which case, I guess she takes the 5th spot. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. I don't want to just say that that's a surefire thing. I was thinking like, Ian McKellen didn't get multiple nominations for playing Gandalf. So, and that was a pre-planned trilogy, so it's not like a sequel thing. This is like Wicked Part 1, Part 2. They might feel like that they already gave her a nomination for this performance. So unless she does something wildly different or pushes it, I don't want to guarantee that she gets one of the 5 spots. She's not off my list, but I think we have to see how people respond to the second half of Wicked and her in it as to whether or not they feel like they've covered her and they'd like to cover somebody else, or whether or not she's even better than the first film and she topped herself. So we have to see how that goes. But I'm not putting her in as a front runner at this point. I acknowledge Jennifer Lopez's presence possibly in this race, and just because she's come close before, if there's enough fever behind her, although Kiss of the Spider-Woman is not the most well-liked film that came out of Sundance, probably not. Probably not going to happen for her this year. There's some other people that are interesting. They're in films, and they could... we've got June Squibb is once again in the lead actress race for Eleanor the Great. That's 2 years running, man. I mean, give this lady an Oscar nomination. She's like 96, and she's managing. I think June Squibb should get the nomination, just for like out of sheer people just going like, my God. Like, don't we all want to be that age and just be like a stone's throw from a Best Actress nomination? That's pretty great. That's pretty amazing. Anyway, the fact that she's even in the race 2 years back to back is crazy. But yeah, Scarlett Johansson's directorial debut didn't get like crazy amounts of praise, so I don't think that's going to happen. I'm keeping an eye on Tessa Thompson because I think she's been around a while, and if she's really great in her film, that could pop, that could send her up there. Sydney Sweeney's in an untitled biopic I don't like the fact that it's untitled. Can we slap a title on it? Call it Macaroni? Maybe, I don't know. So that's kind of the race. I guess I'm a little, I don't know. I don't want to go with Emma Mackey for Ella McKay because James L. Brooks' last movie wasn't phenomenal, but it's possible. I mean, she could be the only nominee. She's a great actress. She's had a up and coming career. She could end up being, if Ella McKay is even halfway good, she could just be the breakthrough from Ella McKay, and Emma Mackey could just land a lone nomination for the film. So we have some choices, but most of the films haven't been seen. And this race seems pretty wide open at this point. The only thing, if you're like, John, I have to go to Vegas and lay some bets, I'd be like, put a bet on Renata Reyes, because I don't see how we come up with 5 names that aren't her. I don't see how she completely gets knocked out of the race, because we've seen her film. It was easy to say that last year about things like, conceptual things that we were like, well, that seems like a no-brainer. Angelina Jolie and Maria, Daniel Craig and Queer. But technically those films hadn't been seen when we started saying it around this period. We've seen Sentimental Value. She's never been nominated. She's a well-liked actress, and the international community will be behind her. So unless she, I don't know, turns out to have, like, keeping little kids in her basement or something, I don't know. Like, there has to be some sort of, like, weird scandal that takes her down out of nowhere. Where it's like, oh, did you know that Renata Reyes eats people? Yeah, her and Armie Hammer, they're best friends. I don't know what it would take to knock her out of the race, because more great performances is not going to move this girl. She's solid. She's locked. We just have to figure out who the other 4 are. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.